Before we move on to our next part of the session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class, may I know who all joined this morning?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Radhika from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Arvindaksha Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for joining and giving your recitation every single day. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna, Radhika Mataji, please accept my humble wishes to you and all the devotees. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to Ashtama devotee. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day, giving your recitation. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karna Devi Dasi. Thank you so much, Mataji, for volunteering to do the service of writing.
Hare Krishna.
Last minute. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Indulekha Karna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining, and all glories to your wonderful services, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devi Dasi from Raleigh. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Krishna Kumari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your recitation every day, blessing all of us with your sweet association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Glories to Guru Maharaj. This is Shama Gauri Devi Dasi from Charlotte. And thank you so much, Mataji, for your all wonderful service.
Hare Krishna Shamagauri Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining and giving your association. And thank you for giving us opportunity to serve Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear Mataji and assembled devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Sriji Leela Devi Dasi from Chicago. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Shri Leela Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining every day, giving your association. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. My humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees. This is Sundarangi Radha Devi Dasi from India. I'm sorry, Mataji, I got late, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Sundarangi Radha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. No worries, Mataji. Thank you for your service. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Hare Krishna devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Pitambara Das from Ontario, Canada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Pitambar Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhu, for joining every day, asking wonderful questions. Very grateful to you. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Lord.
Hare Krishna Parvati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining. I think you're from Atlanta, right, Mataji? Haripul, yes. Mataji is from Atlanta. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all Vaishnavas. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Vrinda.
Hare Krishna Vrinda Gopika Mataji, nice to see you. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Thank you for joining and encouraging all of us. Hari Bol. Okay, we'll start the recording.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Valli from Naperville, Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Valli Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining every single day, giving your recitation. Welcome to the call. Hari Bol. We are waiting for Prabhuji to join. As soon as Prabhuji joins, we'll start the recording. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhuji is there. What's Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today, we are very fortunate to have His Grace Radhika Vallabha Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th Canto, 24th chapter, 39 to 46 verses. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhu, for joining and giving your valuable time and association on this auspicious day. Of course, you guys are celebrating today, Akshaya Tritiya. Thank you, Prabhuji, for coming on the call and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. I now hand over the call to you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we are reading from the 8th canto, chapter 24, verse number 39 to 46. Share the screen. Okay, we'll share. इत्तमादिश्य राजानं हरिरन्तरदीयत सोन्ववैक्षत तं कालं यं ऋषिकेश आदिशत्. In this chapter, we are discussing the Lord's Matsyavatara incarnation. That is how the chapter began. Parishit Maharaj expressed his desire to hear about the Matsyavatara. And Shukdev Goswami combines the description of two Matsya avatars. In one Matsya avatara, Lord killed Hayagriva demon who stole the Vedas. This is the pastime of one Matsya avatara. In another Matsya avatara, appeared in order to show mercy to King Satyavrata. So both these stories, Matsya avatars, are described in the shloka, in this chapter. Bhagavatam adopts a similar style. For example, while describing Varaha avatara, there are two Varaha avataras. One Varaha avatar appeared to kill Hiranyaksha and also to restore the Mother Earth. Another Varaha avatar appeared only for putting the Mother Earth in the proper orbit. But both the avatars are described by Matsya avatara by combining them together. So Matsya avatara, Lord Matsya avatara told King Satyavrata, we saw the previous shlokas, previous classes. He told that I will appear before Pralaya, and then Lord told him, gave him specific instruction. You must collect the seeds, herbs, and along with the Sapta Rishis, you must board the boat. And you tie that boat with the horn of me. I will appear as a big fish. You tie that boat with the Vasuki in my horn. And I will protect you during the Pralaya Kala. That's how the Lord told King Satyavrata. So, Ittam Adishya Rajanam Harirantara Diyata Sonva Vaikshata Kalam Yam Rishikesha Adishat. So let us see this shlokas more closely. So we see that Harihi Rajanam Ittam Adishya Antaradiyata. Antaradiyata means disappeared. Who disappeared? Harihi Antaradiyata. Lord Hari disappeared. After doing what? Ittam Adishya. After instructing in this way, Lord Hari disappeared. Whom did he instruct? Rajanam. Harihi Rajanam Ittam Adishya Antaradiyata. In this way, after instructing King Satyavrata, Lord Hari, the Matsya avatar, disappeared. Then, Saha Tam Kalam Anvavaikshata. Saha means King Satyavrata. Tam Kalam Anvavaikshata. King Satyavrata was waiting for the time which was told by the Supreme Lord. Anvavaikshata means patiently waited. That we had to wait for the time. So, Yam Rishikesha Adishad, which was told by Lord Rishikesha. King Satyavrata began to wait for the time which the Lord had indicated. Yam Rishikesham Adishat. So we see that even though a devotee is foretold, suppose the Lord will appear as a sun, Lord will give darshan to him. Many instances in the Bhagavatam are there. The Lord told Kardama and Devahuti that he will appear as their son. But still the devotees have to wait for the time. The devotees have to, although it was decided that the Lord would appear, but still Kardama and Devahuti, they prepared for the arrival of the Lord by performing tapasya, by performing devotional service. So even though a devotee is blessed to have the association of the Lord, to have the darshan of the Lord, to have Lord as a son, but still the devotees patiently wait, that patiently spend their time thinking about the Lord by spending their time in devotional service. So King Satyavrata was waiting for that time. Next shloka. In the next shloka it is mentioned, Astirya Darbhan Prakulan Rajarshi Pragudang Mukah Nishasada Hare Padau Chintayan Matsya Rupinaha. This is the Anvaya of the shloka. Darban Prakulan. Darban means what? Kusha grass. Prakulan. Prakulan Darban. The tips pointing towards the eastern direction. Prak means the eastern direction. Prakulan Darban Astirya. Astirya means spreading. After spreading, the kusha grass with its tips pointing towards the eastern direction, Darban Prakulan Astirya, Raja Rishihi. Raja Rishihi, the subject, it refers to King Satyavrata. Raja Rishihi Pragudang Mukaha. Pragudang Mukaha, that's also in the same vibhakti, Pratama vibhakti. Pragudang Mukaha is a, we can say the Visheshana for Raja Rishihi. Pragudang Mukaha means facing the northeast. The saintly king who was facing the northeast. So the tips of the kusha grass were pointing toward the east. After spreading the kusha grass with the tips pointing toward the east, the saintly king facing the northeastern direction, Pragudang Mukaha, Matsya Rupinaha Harehe Padau Chintayan Nishasada. Nishasada is the verb. Nishasada means he sat down on the grass. He sat down on that asan of the kusha grass. But what was he doing? Chintayan. While remembering, he sat down. Remembering whom? Harehe Padav. While remembering the lotus feet of the Lord, and especially which form of Lord Hari? Matsya Rupinaha Harehe Padav. Matsya Rupinaha Harehe Padav Chintayan Nishasada. While remembering or while meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord Hari in the form of the Matsya Rupa, he sat down on that kusha grass. So we see that King Satyavrata is very patiently waiting while thinking about the lotus feet of the Lord. He didn't think that, okay, anyway, Lord is going to appear. Till that time, let me spend my time anyway what I want. Let me spend my time in some sense gratification. But then anyway, Lord is going to appear. He didn't think like that. So although the Lord assured I will appear, but King Satyavrata was spending the time while meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord. So Darban Prakulan Astirya Rajarushihi Pragudang Mukaha Matsyarupinaha Harehe Padau Chintayan Nishasada. This is the Anvaya of the shloka. Astirya Darban Prakulan Rajarshi Pragudang Mukaha Nishasada Hare Padau Chintayan Matsya Rupinaha Next shloka. Tatah samudra udvelas sarvata plavayanmahim vardamano mahamegair varshadbis samadrishyata. So if you see here, samadrishyata is a verb. Samadrishyata. King Satyavrata saw. What did he see? That is described in the shloka. Tatah, thereafter. Varshadbihi mahamegaihi. Megaihi, we understand clouds. Mahamegaihi means gigantic clouds. And Varshadbihi. Varshadbihi mahamegaihi. Varsha means rains. Varshadbihi mahamegaihi vardamanaha. Thereafter, because of the gigantic clouds, mahamegaihi, pouring incessant water, incessant rain. Vardamanaha. Vardamanaha is in the continuous sense. Vardamanaha, Shanach Pratyaya. So because of the gigantic clouds pouring incessant, continuous rain, what happened? Udvelaha samudraha. Samudraha, ocean. Udvelaha means what? Samudra began to overflow. Samudra began to overflow. Udvelaha samudraha, or overflowing samudra. Because of that, what happened? Mahim sarvataha plavayan. That samudra which began to overflow, it inundated. Plavayan means inundated. It plavayan. What did it inundate? Sarvataha mahim. It inundated the entire world. Sarvataha mahim. It inundated the entire Bhumandala, entire world. Samadrishyata, Satyavrata saw the scene. So when the Pralaya Kala, he saw the Pralaya Kala. So this is the, now it's an important point here. Generally, suppose, just imagine, suppose there is a intense rain. Sometimes we see some there's excessive rain in a place. So at that time, water enters the house also. Or you are told to evacuate that place in a short notice. Different times, different places in the world, it happens. So at that time, you will take the most important things when you are told to evacuate. At that time, you will actually, what you will be taking along with you, which are considered as most important by you. Many things because most of the things will not be able to take away, will not be take along with you. But only some things you can take. Your limited luggage, you can, limited capacity. So at that time, what we are supposed to take? That is described in the next shloka. That shows which are considered, that shows the most important thing which we value. The next shloka says that Dhyayan Bhagavadadesham Dadrishe Navamagatam Tamaruroha Viprendrair Adayaushadi Virudaha. Dhyayan Bhagavadadesham Dadrishe Navamagatam. So, Bhagavad Adesham Dhyayan. While meditating on the instruction of the Supreme Lord, Bhagavad Adesham Dhyayan, Agatam navam dadrishe. Dadrishe means he saw. What did he see? Navam, he saw a boat which had arrived. Agatam navam dadrishe. Satyavrata saw a boat which had arrived. And then what did he take along with him while boarding that boat? This is an important point here. Aushadihi virudaha adaya Viprendraihi tam aruroha. Aushadihi virudaha adaya. He collected all the different seeds of the different herbs and the creepers. After collecting the herbs and creepers, Aushadihi virudaha adaya Viprendraihi. Viprendraihi, here it refers to the Brahmanas, the Saptarishis, the devotees. Along with the Saptarishis, along with the saintly Brahmanas, Tam Aruroha, he boarded that Nava, he boarded that boat, Tam Aruroha. So here we see an important point that preserving the seeds, that is that's very important for the future generation. Preserving the seeds. Because even when you interact with those who are into organic agriculture, they will emphasize a lot about seed preservation. Seed preservation, especially the traditional varieties of crops, is a very important thing. Preserving the seed. So, because in due course of time, many of these hybrid varieties of seeds which came to the modern agriculture, that you have to depend on the companies to buy the seeds every time. But traditionally, agriculture is a self-sufficient activity. You are not dependent on others. You preserve the seed and then use the seed for the next year. So preserving the seeds are very important for the future. And this principle is not only for agriculture, this is also important for many other fields also. Preserving the seed of knowledge, preserving the knowledge, the textbooks of, that means the Shastras. Once Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur told, suppose if there is a Pralaya Kala, everything is going to be drowned, then you can only take few books along with you. Then what books one can take? Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur told, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. But if you are told that even these three books are too much, the boat cannot carry so much, then he said that, and then I will carry Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Then if you are told that even these two books are also too much, you can carry only one book, then Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur said that I will carry Chaitanya Charitamrita, because that it includes everything. Chaitanya Charitamrita, description of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is the greatest Bhagavata, and that includes Bhagavad Gita, everything is there. So, preserving the knowledge is also very important. Preserving the knowledge for the future, because anytime some destruction can happen in different forms. Therefore, even Srila Prabhupada, when he established ISKCON and BBT. And he made BBT independent of ISKCON. BBT is an independent entity which is functioning, is independent of ISKCON. Because that is the BBT's sole role is to publish books, distribute books. So traditionally also the Brahmanas are independent of others, Kshatriyas or others. ISKCON is managed by the GBC, but BBT is independent of ISKCON. Same devotees are only there, but the point important is that sometimes even if something happens, Prabhupada once told that suppose even if something happens and ISKCON had to be closed down, but the BBT, because my books are there, and my books, when they are being distributed, it will create another ISKCON. Again, Krishna conscious Sangha will be generated, it will be created. So therefore, at the time of pralaya, at the time of devastation, one should preserve, one should take those seeds. Seeds are important because those seeds will be important to, when after the pralaya gets settled down, then with the seeds you can actually grow the crops. And not only the seed, by that you can live, and also the seeds of knowledge. And the seed of knowledge is here present with the Brahmanas here. Brahmanas. Because in the previous yugas, the books were not in written format. The Brahmanas are living embodiment of that knowledge. The sages, Sapta Rishis are living embodiment of that knowledge. That's why there is a saying which says that when a Pandita or when a learned person dies, it is said that a whole library is destroyed. A whole library has disappeared. Because such a learned person is an embodiment of all the books. He is holding the knowledge of all the books. When such a person dies, we say that the whole library has disappeared. So the Viprendraihi refers to the Shastras along with the living examples of those Shastric knowledge, along with the people who have assimilated the essence of the Shastras. So that is what Viprendra refers to. So he collected them. He collected the herbs and creepers and accompanied with the saintly Brahmanas, Tam Aruroha. He got aboard that boat. He boarded that boat. The next shloka, all these shlokas don't have purports. Tamuchurmuna yaprita rajan dhyayasva keshavam Savaina sankatadasmad avitasham vidasyati. Very beautiful shloka. You see how these sages, how these devotees, how they gave assurance, hope to King Satyavrata. Pritaha munayaha. The satisfied sages. Tam uchuhu. They spoke to King Satyavrata. Being pleased with King Satyavrata, tam uchuhu, they spoke to him. They said to him as follows. Rajan, O king, Keshavam dhyayasva. This is the first thing they say. Meditate on Lord Keshava. Meditate on Lord Keshava. So, we see that a materialist during the time of, say, devastation, this one, he tries to maybe take the most wealth, maybe he tries to take gold and money and all these things along with him. But here King Satyavrata took the seeds and creepers and then he took the devotees along with him. And the devotees They gave hope to him in that hopeless situation of the pralaya. They gave encouragement to him. Meditate on Lord Keshava. Keshavam Dhyayasva. So therefore, at any point in time, at no point in time, one should never leave the Sangha of the devotee. The Sangha of the devotee should be given the highest priority, because those devotees remind us to think about Krishna. Keshavam Dhyayasva. Saha Vai Naha Asmat Sankatat Avita. Saha, that Keshava, Vai, certainly. Naha Asmat Sankatat Avita. He will certainly protect us from this impending danger. Avita means protector. He will protect. They are giving assurance. He will certainly protect us from the impending danger. And not only he will protect us from the impending danger, Sham Vidasyati. Sham means auspiciousness. Vidasyati, he will bestow auspiciousness. He will arrange for our well-being. So we see that is the greatness of the association of the devotees. Association of a materialist gives hope to continue to enjoy sense gratification. Although a person may have been thoroughly cheated in his attempt to enjoy sense gratification, but the association of the materialistic people gives him hope to try to enjoy sense gratification in some other way. Similarly, association of the devotees gives a person hope to continue to practice devotional service. So therefore, we see in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the great devotees, even when they are in front of the Lord, they pray for the association of the devotees. Yevam janam nipatita prabhavahi kupe kama vikamanuya prapatan prasangat kritvatmasat surarishina bhagavan grihita soham katam nu visruje tava bhritya sevam. Prahlad Maharaj prays that in the association of the asuras who are absorbed in different sense gratification, evam janam nipatita prabhavahi kupe, I was falling down into a well filled with poisonous snakes. Kama bi kamam anuyat prapatan prasangat. By their association, I was falling down into the deep, dark well filled with poisonous snakes. Kritvatmasa surarishina bhagavan grihita. The Surarishi Narada Muni accepted me as his own self, accepted me as his own disciple. Soham katamnu visruje tavabritya sevam. How can I leave the service to the Narada Muni? Dhruva Maharaj prays. Bhaktim mukhu pravakatam tvayi me prasango yenanja solbanam muru vyasanam bhavabdim neshe bhuvat Bhaktim muhu pravakatam tvayi me prasango bhuyadananta mahatam amalashayanam yenanja solbanamuru vyasanam bhavabdim neshe bhavat gunakatamrita panamattaha. He says that let me have intimate association of your devotees. Bhuyad ananta mahatam amalashayana. Let me have intimate association of those devotees who are completely pure at heart. Bhaktim muhu pravahatam tvayime prasango. And from their mouth, Krishna Katha is constantly emanating. And by hearing that Krishna Katha, I will very easily cross over this dangerous samsara. Neshye bhavat gunakatamrita panamatta. By getting intoxicated in hearing Krishna Katha from them, I will very easily cross over this samsara. Neshye bhavat gunakatamrita panamatta. So like that, Prahlad Maharaj praised many devotees. Bhartrihari, the Niti Shataka, he says that he compares the difference between the association with a devotee and association with a materialist. He compares them to the shadow before noontime and shadow after noontime. So if we see the shadow of any object or a person before noon, maybe if I'm wrong, somebody can correct. Before noon, it is like initially the shadow is small, but as the time progresses, the size of the shadow keeps on increasing. And after noon, initially the shadow is long, but as time progresses, the shadow keeps on decreasing. No, I think the other way around. Other way around. So Bhartrihari says that the association with a materialist, initially the beginning, it appears very pleasing. It appears very attractive. But as time progresses, it keeps on decreasing. That means because the materialist gives his association with a selfish interest, actually. Initially, he speaks with a pleasing. But as time progresses, once his purpose is fulfilled, then you won't get much benefit, even on the material level. One may get harm also. It keeps on decreasing as time progresses. Association with a devotee, initially it appears very small. That means we don't get any material benefits. We are not getting material benefits from a devotee. It appears that a devotee is just saying that take this prasadam, chant one round, come for the satsang. Initially, we feel that what is the benefit of all these things? It appears that hardly association with him is hardly of any benefit. Like that we think. But as time progresses, that association with the devotee, the benefit of that association, it only keeps on increasing. It only keeps on increasing because it takes a person close to Krishna. So therefore, these devotees are reminding King Satyavrata. Next shloka. सोनुद्यातस्ततो राज्ञा प्रादुरासीन् महार्णवे एकशृङ्गधरो मत्स्यो हैमो नियुतयोजनः राज्ञा अनुद्यातः. That means राज्ञा अनुद्यातः. When the king meditated upon that Matsyavatar, the Supreme Lord, Saha Tataha Maharnave Ekashringadaraha Haimaha Niyuta Yojanaha Matsyaha Pradurasit. So Pradurasit means appeared. Who appeared? Matsyaha Pradurasit. Matsyavatar appeared. And then what was the size of Matsyavatar? Niyuta Yojanaha. The Niyuta Yojanaha means one who was 8 million miles long. Matsyavatar with the length of 8 million miles appeared And what else is spoken about that Matsyavatara? Haimaha and Ekashringadaraha. He had one horn. Ekashringadaraha. Shringa means horn. Haimaha. Huh? And that Matsyavatar was a golden fish. It was golden in complexion. Where did he appear? Maharnave, in that ocean of Pralaya, in the ocean of inundation. Tataha, thereafter. So while the king meditated upon the Lord, the large golden fish appeared in the ocean of inundation. The fish had one horn and was 8 miles long. Matsyaha Pradurasi. So if we see that when the Lord appears in any form as a Varaha or as a Matsya, he is always in the transcendental platform. Generally, it is said that the fishes are considered to be very low class living entities. For example, the nectar of instruction, and Rupa Goswami says that Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, Jihva Vegam, Udara Upastha Vegam. Etan Vegan Yo Vishaheta Dira, Sarvamapi Mam Prativim Sa Shishyat. So, Rupa Goswami speaks about the person who is qualified to make disciples, one who has controlled the six, one who tolerates the 6 urges. So when we talk about the Jihva Vegam, when the Acharyas write a commentary, the Acharyas say that one should avoid meat, one should avoid eggs, one should avoid fish. One should avoid anything which is not offered to Krishna, even if it is vegetarian. And then they further write different guidelines. Even if it is prasadam, one should eat in a appropriate, moderate quantity. One should not eat too much. These things are mentioned. But one interesting point mentioned by Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur in the Jihva Vegam to be avoided, he says meat, fishes. So here one may get a question. Fish is already included within the meat. What is the need to mention fish separately? Because fish is also one type of meat only. So then one may get the question, why did he mention separately fish along with the meat? So the reason given is that in the Manusmriti, it is said that Yo yasya mamsam ashnati tat tan mamsada uchyate. Matsyada sarva mamsadas tasman matsyan vivarjayet. A person who eats the flesh of one particular animal is known as the eater of only that particular animal. But however, a person who eats fish, he is considered to be the eater of every animal. He eats the meat of every animal. Therefore, tasman matsyan vivarjayet. Therefore, by all means, one should give up eating fish meat. This is the Manusmriti 5.15. In the commentary, it is said that Matsyasya sarva prani bhakshana yogyatvat tat bhakshakasyapi sarva mamsadatvam A fish potentially eats all the creatures that die and fall into the waters. Therefore, a person who eats fish effectively eats the fish of all the animals. So therefore, that fish eating is specifically mentioned separately. So why I'm quoting this is that fish is considered to be the one of the lowest species in the living entities. But when the Lord appears as a fish, when Bhagavan appears as a fish, he remains in the transcendental platform. Janma karma chame divyam evam yoveti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mamet Arjuna. One who considers understands the birth and activities of the Lord to be transcendental, such a person never takes birth. Suresh Rishishvisha. Whether the Lord appears as among the Devatas or among the Rishis or among the animals. Suresh Rishishvisha. Tataiva Nrishvapi Tiryakshuyadastvapi Tejanasya Janma Satam Durmada Nigrahaya Prabhu Vidata Sadanugrahaya Cha. Brahmaji offers this prayer. O Supreme Lord, you have no material birth. Yet to defeat the false pride, Prabhu Vidata Sadanugrahaya Cha. Janma Satam Dur Madanigrahaya. In order to defeat the false pride of the faithless demons. And Prabhu Vidata Sadanugrahaya. In order to show mercy to your saintly devotees, you take birth among the Devatas, among the sages, among the human beings, and among the animals, and even among the aquatics. Triyakshu Yadas Twapite Janasya. So when the Lord appears in any species, even as the aquatics, the purpose is same. What is the purpose? Janma Satam Durmada Nigrahaya Prabhu Vidata Sadanugrahaya Cha. To defeat the pride of the demons, faithless demons, and to show mercy to your saintly devotees. So the Lord has appeared this form of Matsyavatara to show mercy to his dear devotee King Satyavrata. Let us see the next shloka. Nibadya navam tachringe yatokto harinapura varatrena hina tushtas tushtava madhusudanam. So pura yatoktaha, as it was instructed by the Lord before. Pura yatoktaha harina navam tat shringe varatrena ahina nibadya tushtaha madhusudanam tushtava. So as told by the Lord previously, pura yatoktaha harina navam tat shringe varatrena. Tat shringe means the horn of the Lord. Varatrena here refers to the Vasuki. Ahina refers to the Vasuki, Varatrena refers to the rope. By using Vasuki as a rope, and King Satyavrata tied that boat with the horn of that Lord Hari, Matsyavatara. That means he used the horn of the Lord as the anchor. The boat was tied to the horn of Matsyavatara. And what was used as a rope? Vasuki. Varatrena ahina. Nibadya, after binding. The king anchored the boat to the fish's horn, using the serpent Vasuki as a rope. Then Tushtaha, then he became satisfied. And then with a satisfied heart, Madhusudanam Tushtava, he began to praise Lord Madhusudana. He began to offer prayers to the Lord Madhusudana. So then, from the next shloka, the prayers of King Satyavrata to Matsyavatar begin. Very wonderful prayers. So till this verse, there is no purport. The next verse, the first prayer starts. We will see the first prayer. So it is said that prayer is not a spare wheel which is to be used when the vehicle breaks down. Rather, prayer is like a steering wheel which a person is supposed to use throughout the journey. So generally people pray to the Lord when they are in difficulty. But Srimad Bhagavatam teaches us how one should lead a life of a prayer. One should lead a life of prayer. One should lead a life as an offering to the Lord. And the prayers which are there in the Srimad Bhagavatam, offered by so many devotees, in those prayers, the devotees, they express their deepest realizations of their heart. The heart of the devotee is actually revealed in those prayers. So let us see the first prayer. So in these prayers, one of the speciality of this prayer is that King Satyavrata glorifies Matsyavatara as the Parama Guru, as a supreme spiritual master. This theme comes in every prayer. Shri Rajo Vacha Anadya Vidyo Pahatatma Samvidas Tanmula Samsara Parishramaturaha Yadrichayo Pasruta Yamapnuyuhu Vimukti Dona Paramo Gurur Bhavan. I'll read Prabhupada's translation. The king said, by the grace of the Lord, those who have lost their self-knowledge since time immemorial, and who because of this ignorance are involved in a material conditioned life full of miseries, obtain the chance to meet the Lord's devotee. I accept that Supreme Personality of Godhead as the Supreme Spiritual Master. It's a very important prayer. King Satyavrata is saying that Sri Raja Uvacha, the King Satyavrata prayed. Anadi avidya upahata atma samvidaha. Atma samvidaha means what? The self-knowledge. The knowledge about the Atma. The knowledge of one's Swarupa, of the Atma. Upahata means lost. And then another important point. Upahata means last. Since when? Anadi avidya. Since beginningless time. It's lost because of ignorance since beginningless time. Anadi avidya upahata atma samvidaha. They have lost their self-knowledge because of ignorance from beginningless time. Tat mula samsara parishrama. And therefore, tanmula samsara parishrama aturaha. So therefore, because the living entities are in ignorance, which is the root cause of the suffering, which is the root cause of being in samsara, parishrama, they are going through great difficulty. They are going through great fatigue. They are suffering from fatigue. And aturaha. Because of this ignorance, they are in the samsara, they are going through so many miseries. And because of those miseries, they are actually tired and they are in a state of distress. Parishrama aturaha. And then yadrichaya. This is the important word. Yadrichaya here means specifically, it means what? By the mercy of your devotee. By the mercy of your devotee, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavana Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. By the mercy of some devotee, a living entity who has been transmigrating this Brahmanda, gets the seed of devotional service. Yadrichaya, by obtaining the mercy of the devotee. Yam upasritaha. Apnuyuhu. By obtaining the mercy of a devotee, Yadrichaya upasrita, yam apnuyuhu. A living entity attains you. Attains you. He starts practicing his bhakti. And Parama Guruhu Bhavan, I consider you to be the supreme spiritual master. Naha Vimuktidaha, you are the one who can give us, who can award us liberation. You are the one who cuts the knot in our heart and who can award the liberation. Naha Vimuktidaha, you are the giver of liberation. So here we see that Vishwanath Chakotaku's purport. You are the supreme guru, giver of liberation, whom those persons whose knowledge of Atma has been destroyed by ignorance without beginning, who are suffering from fatigue in material existence, rooted in ignorance, and who have been given shelter by the chance mercy of devotees, Yadrichaya, and such people attain they attain you. So here the King Satyavrata is basically showing his gratitude. The Sapta Rishis, they boarded the ship along with him. The Sapta Rishis, what did they tell? Keshavam Dhyayasva. Saha Vai Asmat Sankatat Avita Sham Vidasyati. Meditate on Lord Keshava. He will certainly deliver us from our suffering. He will bestow auspiciousness. So here King Satyavrata is showing his gratitude to the Sapta Rishis, who are the teachers of bhakti to him. Because King Satyavrata is a devotee even before, but he's showing his gratitude to the Sapta Rishis. The 7 sages, teachers of bhakti, who have been merciful to me, are my gurus. But you who have taught them bhakti are the supreme guru for me. You are the Parama Guru for me. Or Vishwanath Chakravarti says that when you appear according to the avatara, sometimes you are the guru for some and sometimes you are the supreme guru for others. So you are the Parama Guru and these Sapta Rishis are my gurus. So Prabhupada's purport. Prabhupada, 1 minute. Prabhupada says here, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is actually the Supreme Spiritual Master. The Supreme Lord knows everything about the suffering of the conditioned soul. And therefore, he appears in this material world sometimes personally, sometimes by an incarnation, and sometimes by authorizing a living being to act on his behalf. In all cases, however, he is the original spiritual master who enlightens the conditioned souls who are suffering in the material world. The Lord is always busy helping the conditioned souls in many ways. Therefore, he is addressed here as Parama Gurur Bhavan, the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead who acts to spread Krishna consciousness is also guided by the Supreme Lord to act properly in executing the Lord's order. Such a person may appear to be an ordinary human being, but because he is acting on behalf of the Supreme Lord, he is not to be neglected as ordinary. Therefore, Krishna says in the Uddhav Gita, Acharyam mam vijaniyan navamanyeta karigachit. Never disrespect an Acharya. I consider the Acharya to be my own self. Never become envious towards an Acharya. Never try to find fault with an Acharya. So that Acharya should be understood to be as good as the Supreme Lord himself. Sakshat Daritvena Samasta Shastrir Yuktastata Bha Yatayeva Sadbihi Kintu Praborya Priyayeva Tasya Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has advised that the spiritual master acting on the Supreme Lord's behalf must be worshipped as being as good as the Supreme Lord. Because for he, the Lord's most confidential servant in broadcasting the Lord's message for the benefit of the conditioned souls involved in the material world. So we see that Srila Prabhupada is writing how a spiritual master should not be disrespected, because sometimes Guru Laghava, sometimes the people trivialize the Guru. They consider the Guru as an ordinary person. Daksha Prajapati considered Lord Shiva as an ordinary person. But Vidura addressed Lord Shiva as Charachara Gurum and Shanta Vigraham, the personification of peacefulness, and who is the Guru of moving and non-moving entities. But Daksha Prajapati saw Lord Shiva only from a bodily point of view, which is considered to be the hellish mentality. He is an example of Guru Laghava, therefore he disrespected Lord Shiva. Another extreme is that Guru Gaurava Atishaya. Guru Gaurava, respecting the Guru, but excessive respect of the Guru. Guru Gaurava Atishaya. Excessively respecting the Guru means what? It means that one does not have faith in the Guru centered around the Shastra. One sees the Guru independent of the Shastra. One sees the Guru independent of the Parampara, independent of the Sampradaya. Then such a follower is like a cult follower of the Guru. He is like a fan club follower of the Guru. Because he is not seeing the Guru as a representative of the Parampara, the Sampradaya, or the Shastra. Because a Guru or a Sadhu is somebody who speaks according to the Shastra. But there are many people who don't speak according to the Shastra, and there are many hundreds and thousands of followers to those Gurus. They see the Guru independent of the Shastra. They are the examples of Guru Gaurava Atishaya. Sometimes even a bona fide Guru may speak something which is different from the Shastra, but for a particular time, place and circumstance, in a contextual thing. How can we recognize that he is speaking this statement of an Acharya is a contextual thing? So only when our faith in the Guru is centered around the Shastra, we will be able to differentiate between the contextual teachings of the Guru and the universal teaching of the Guru. And that contextual teaching will be given by the Guru for a specific purpose. In apad dharma, in certain emergency, or for certain people. Although he might have spoken something different from the Shastra, but it is for the higher purpose of giving Krishna Bhakti to the person. Just like Buddha, in the incarnation of Vishnu, he appeared and he told, reject the Vedas. But with a higher purpose in mind. In order to, because those who are absorbed in animal killing, they can never hear Krishna Katha. Nivritta tarushai rupagiyamanaat babaushadaat shrotra manobiramat kavuttama shloka gunanuvadat puman virajyeta vina pashubna. A person who is a killer of animal can never hear Krishna Katha. So, but there are people who are absorbed in animal killing in the name of the Vedas. Therefore, in order to trick them, they are told that reject the Vedas, but with a higher purpose in mind. But the teaching cannot be accepted universally. It's for a temporary emergency period. So, therefore, Guru Laghava is condemned. Guru Gaurava Atishaya is also condemned. But what is the balanced approach? Shastrokta Guru Nishta. Faith in the Guru centered around the Shastra. That is the balanced faith. Like for example, talking about Guru Gaurava Atishaya and also in relation to this particular shloka. In the case of Srila Prabhupada, he told in regard to the living entities avidya, many places he said that the living entity misused its free will and fell from the spiritual world. Many places he told. In other places he also told, specifically 3 purports, 3.16.26, 27 and 29. In these 3 purports, Prabhupada very clearly says that the conclusion of the Jaya Vijay episode is that it is impossible that a living entity can fall from the spiritual world. Once a person is accepted by Krishna, he can never fall down. Prabhupada gives emphatic statement. Other times he told that don't focus on this question. Don't worry about this question. Focus on your devotional service. When you are drowning in the ocean, when somebody is coming to rescue, don't ask him who pushed you down. First focus on getting out of that ocean. So Prabhupada gave 3 different answers. But somehow the most popular answer which has become is that we fell from the spiritual world. That is. But actually, if we see the Shastra, this answer is against the Shastra. For example, like this verse says that Anadi Avidya, beginningless ignorance. Anadi, the simple meaning is that beginningless. Because sometimes the acharyas have translated as time immemorial. It means that since a very long time, which is beyond our memory, we have forgotten that. But it had a beginning, but we have forgotten that. Sometimes it is translated like that. But when we go through the original, Prabhupada, some places he has translated Anadi Avidya as beginningless ignorance. Some places he has translated as time immemorial. So why the acharyas have done like that? Because the Shastras clearly say the ignorance is beginningless. The beginningless ignorance also means causeless ignorance. There is no cause for the ignorance. There is no cause like you misuse the free will in front of the spiritual world. There is no cause for the ignorance. But because in the conditioned state, we are so deeply conditioned to think in terms of cause and effect. A part is, you see the part, the cause is the potter, or the mud, chakra. You see a cloth, the cause is the cotton, the weaver, or the factory. So we see everything in this world. When we see the effect, we see the cause. So we are deeply conditioned to think in terms of cause and effect. So for the conditioned soul absorbed in Rajoguna, he is unable to comprehend something which has no cause. Even, for example, in the Gita course also, when we say creation implies a creator, design implies a designer. So that somebody must have designed this world, created this world. That is the supreme law. When somebody asks that, but then who created God? Do we say somebody else created God? We say that no. By definition, God is not created by anybody. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karana. Anadiradir Govinda. He has no beginning. But he is the beginning. He is the source of everyone. Yomam Ajam Anadim Cha Vettiloka Maheshwaram Asammuda Samartyeshu Sarva Pape Pramuchyate. So because we are deeply conditioned to think in terms of cause and effect. Yeah, I was mentioning that. When we say the God is a creator of everything, but he is not created by anybody. There is no cause for Krishna. And that is why Gajendra prays in the Bhagavatam, Namo Namaste Kilakaranaya Nishkaranaya Bhutakaranaya. Namo Namaste Akila Karanaya. You are the cause of everything. Nishkaranaya, but you are not caused by somebody else. And therefore, you are the amazing cause, Adbhuta Karanaya. So to think of something which is without a cause, that is something difficult to conceive for the conditioned soul. But somehow the living entity accepts for the sake of God. So he has no cause. But in the case of ignorance, one may think the concept of beginningless ignorance is inconceivable for the living entity. And especially people in the Western tradition, the Abrahamic religion, there's a concept of misusing the free will, and then one fell from the paradise lost, like that. So therefore the Acharyas, they have used, Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentions in the Jaiva Dharma also, that because this concept is little difficult to understand for the conditioned soul who is absorbed in Rajoguna, Tamoguna, therefore Acharya sometimes spoke in this way, that the living entity misused the free will and fell down. So that is the contextual statement of the Srila Prabhupada. Because when we see falling from the spiritual world, it will contradict the very first two verses of the Bhagavatam. The first verse of Bhagavatam says that Satyam Param Dhimahi. Satyam Param Dhimahi. Let us meditate on that Param Satya, supreme absolute truth. And what is the nature of that Param Satya? Immediately the verse is 10.2.26. Satya Vratam Satya Param Trisatyam. Satyasya Yonim Nihitam Cha Satye. Satya Vratam. Param Satya is somebody whose vow is never broken, who never fails in his vow, who never fails to upkeep his vow, one who always fulfills his vow. And especially, Krishna will never break the vow in relation to his devotees. Rupa Goswami says in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he talks about 18 faults of the absolute truth, 18 faults of a conditioned living entity. And he says that these faults are never present in the absolute truth. Becoming hungry, becoming thirsty, or becoming confused, becoming angry, speaking a lie, like that. He says these faults are never present in the absolute truth. But sometimes even the absolute truth exhibits these faults. Sometimes even the absolute truth exhibits these faults for the sake of his devotees. In order to show his love towards his devotees, sometimes even Krishna indulges in cheating. So he may, then in that case, those faults become the ornaments of Krishna. They become the ornaments of Krishna. So Krishna has mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. My devotee will never perish. My devotee will never fall. So this is the Krishna statement about the devotee. Krishna will never speak a lie in relation to his devotees. So therefore, the idea that the devotee misused his free will and fell in the spiritual world, it is against the very nature of Krishna, that if you accept this view, it would immediately make this statement of Krishna to be false. Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Which is impossible actually. Because Krishna can never speak a lie in relation to the devotees. Sadhavo hridayam mayyam sadhunam hridayam tvaham. So therefore, then if you accept that living entity falling to the spiritual world, then the Krishna statement, Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati, will become a false statement. Then Krishna will be removed from the position of Param Satya. So therefore, it contradicts the first verse of the Bhagavatam. And the second verse of the Bhagavatam says that Tapatraya Unmoolanam. By hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, the miseries are uprooted from the root. That means the misery, the desires, and the avidya, all three are uprooted from the root. If the avidya is also uprooted, how can a devotee develop a desire to, how can a devotee who is engaged in the service to Krishna in prema, with love of Krishna in the spiritual world, how can he again develop a desire to enjoy independently from Krishna? It will contradict the so many statements of the Bhagavatam about the purifying capacity of the bhakti. Tapatraya unmoolanam. Kechit kevalaya bhaktya vasudeva parayana agam dunvanti katsyena niharam iva bhaskara. Another verse in the same Satyavrata's prayer, it comes how the bhakti completely purifies a person, just like the fire purifies the gold. So therefore, but still we have a duty to defend the Acharya, because the disciple's duty is to cover up the apparent faults of the Acharya. Chatra means what? Chatra means, it comes from the root word chatram. Guru dosho chadanam chatram tachilamasya chatra. One whose innate nature is to cover up the apparent faults of the Guru is called as a true chatra. So one may question why Prabhupada spoke falling from the spiritual world. So we have, as a disciple, we have to defend the Acharya. The way we can defend the Acharya is that's a contextual statement, because Prabhupada was speaking in the Prabhupada was speaking to the people from the Abrahamic background who are used to that idea of paradise lost. So Prabhupada spoke the similar idea in the beginning. At the same time, Prabhupada also gave other two answers. Impossible to fall down. So therefore here Anadi Avidya, here it shows that in beginningless time, the living entity is in ignorance. So therefore we see, like suppose you are tired, you are dead tired. At that time, somebody comes and presses your leg, gives a massage, and then you become relieved of that fatigue. So you show so much of gratitude toward the person. Oh, thank you for this massage. And suppose you have been having a headache since 3 days. And somebody gives some medicine and then it cures of your headache. Then you show your more gratitude because for 3 days you have been suffering. Suppose you have been having a fever since 10 days. It kept on coming again and again. And then some doctor, you consulted one doctor, but the medicine didn't work out. And then the second doctor consulted and that person's medicine worked out. And then you show so much of gratitude towards the person. Even more gratitude. Suppose you have been suffering for a chronic disease since 25 years. You have consulted so many doctors. And then finally one doctor cures you. Makes you come out of the disease. And you show so much of gratitude because you have suffered for a long time. And so we see, suppose like one person was saying that how he got a heart attack in the night, 11 o'clock. He could see that something wrong. And then at that time, how he got admitted, and then a doctor miraculously saved him from the heart attack by giving angioplasty. And then he was telling me that how every year he visits him twice or thrice a year. And then he shows his gratitude to the doctor because he is not able to forget that how he saved him from the life and death situation. After that, his lifestyle completely changed. He developed a more regulated lifestyle. So we show so much of gratitude to somebody who saved us from the near-death experience. And here Srimad Bhagavatam says that the disease of avidya is there with the living entity since beginningless time. Anadya vidya. Anadya vidya yuktasya purushasya vedanaha svatona sambhavadanya tattvagyo jnanado bhavet. The Uddhav Gita. The word Anadya Vidya comes repeatedly in the Bhagavatam. Many places, many shlokas, the present shloka also. Since beginningless times, we are having this ignorance. We are having the disease of ignorance. Yadrichaya, by the mercy of a devotee, a person comes out of that ignorance. So therefore, how much more gratitude a person should have towards the devotee, toward that spiritual master who has made him come out of this ignorance since beginningless time. So therefore we see that King Satyavrata is expressing his profound gratitude both towards the Sapta Rishis and also toward the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we find similar prayers throughout the Bhagavatam where the devotee expresses the gratitude towards the Guru and the spiritual master. Rachetas, they say that Vayam tu sakshat Bhagavan Bhavasya Priyasya Satyur Ksanasangamena Sudushchukitsyasya Bhavasya Mrityur Bishaktamam Tvadyagatim Gatasma. The Prachetas, they say that because of getting the association of your dear friend, your dear devotee, Lord Shiva, we have got your association. And you are the best among the doctors who can cure the most incurable disease of ignorance, the Bhavaroga. And in that way, they express their gratitude. Hare Krishna. I'll end here. Any one question will take. Pitambar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for the wonderful class, Prabhu. Sorry, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Pitambar, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Radhika Vallabha Prabhu. My Dandavat
Hare
pranams to you all, Vaishnava Prabhupada. Prabhu, thank you so much for a wonderful explanation of these verses. Very, very grateful to you. Prabhu, I have got a question where, we say, Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Kariyo Kya. We sing every day, glorifying Guru in Guru Vandana. But I heard you saying, Prabhu, that two things. One is Lagu and one is Atisai. Lagu means we should not be too much underestimating Guru's instructions, but uh, you said Atisai also we should be avoiding. We should be walking in between the line. While I can understand the Lagu, yes, we should not be अवगणना नहीं कर सकते हैं. We should not be ignoring Guru's instructions at all. But then the other side of it, Atisai, I mean, what is wrong? Why? Whatever Guru Maharaj says, we need to follow as our life and soul. So if you can shed some more light on the other side of it, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Guru Lagavam, Guru Gaurav Atishaya. Guru Gaurav Atishaya means excessive respect of the Guru, in the sense that excessive respect of the Guru means not seeing the Guru as a representative of the Shastra or the Sampradaya. Because sometimes a Guru, while operating in this material world, he may make certain decisions because of the certain circumstances. He may have to make certain decisions which are not in line with the Shastra. A simple example, suppose if I say, suppose a Guru takes a particular COVID vaccine, some particular COVID vaccine or some vaccine. And suppose if the disciples say that because the Guru has taken this vaccine, therefore it is compulsory, every disciple should take this vaccine. So it's an example of Guru Gaurav Atishaya. Because vaccine is not coming from the Shastric source. It is coming from the scientific world, which may be good or which may not be good. Some of the vaccines we saw during COVID also, like many had side effects. But sometimes when a person is in this world, he will have to take vaccine for traveling for this one. He may have to take some vaccine. He may, out of compulsion, he may take, or out of some preference, he may take. But that is coming not from the Shastra, because what is coming from the Shastra is perfect. But what is coming from some non-Shastric sources, that need not be perfect. That may have the defects of a human being. So that aspect, but the Guru, while in the material world, sometimes he may have to quote, he may quote certain non-Shastric sources, or he may accept the decisions. That too again for a higher purpose, or for certain emergency. So that aspect cannot be generalized, universalized. That is what I meant. But generally, the followers, they tend to universalize even those contextual aspects or the decisions made by the Guru in certain emergency situation. Contextual aspects also into universal. So that is because generally many times the followers, they tend to have this mood of Guru Gaurav Atishay. Like Prabhupada, during Prabhupada once was having certain indigestion problem. He was traveling the airplane. Somebody just told that, why don't you try this 7-Up? Like that. So Prabhupada took that 7-Up and then he gave some good comments. Oh, it is good. It's very nice. Like that, something made some good comments. And immediately that spread. And then devotees thought that 7-Up is bona fide. And then in different temples, Prabhupada saw that there were so many 7-Up cans were there. So then Prabhupada asked, why there are so many 7-Up cans? So then they said, because you made good comments about 7-Up. So therefore, people, because in Kali Yuga, this cult mindset is very much prevalent in Kali Yuga. Among the film stars, or the sports stars, or political leaders, they don't follow a person for what he represents. They are attracted to a particular style of the person. They are attracted to the different aspects of the person. They don't see what the person is representing. So therefore, the cult mindset is prevalent in Kali Yuga, and oftentimes because we come from that background, so that cult mindset can also get carried forward in the spiritual life also. So one may see the Guru independent of the Shastra. Correct.
Haribol, thank you so much, Prabhu. That example is very, very convincing. Yes, it is not in the Shastras. So I was thinking, Prabhu, we should be having the mindset of Bali Maharaj, where we need to evaluate, although we are nobody to evaluate Guru Maharaj, but if it is going against or not founded in the Shastras, then we should think loud and do the appropriate thing as Bali Maharaj did in the case of Sukracharya. Thank you, Prabhu. My vandan to you. Hare Krishna. Grateful to you, Haribol.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. A wonderful question, and thank you so much, Prabhuji, for explaining it nicely. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. If anyone has any questions or realizations, please unmute yourself and go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this wonderful class. Prabhuji, I just wanted to go back to the point where you were talking about how there is no fall down from the spiritual world. But we are, as a soul is on its own supposed to be very pure. So what is our origin in that case? I know you said that we shouldn't think about cause and effect too, but
the ignorance of when we see we have to understand through the Shastra only. According to the Shastra, about the Atma, Krishna says that Natvevaham Jatunasam Natvam Neme Janadipa Nachaivana Bhavishyama Sarve Vayamata Param. Bhagavad Gita 2.12. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor any of these kings. So, and nor in the future shall any of us will cease to exist. So, Atma has no birth, Atma has no death. That is the Shastra says. And the second chapter, 11th to 30th shloka, many places Krishna says that. Dehi nityam avadyoyam dehe sarvasya bharata. So the Dehi, the Atma is nityam. Atma has no birth, and Atma has no death. And what about the ignorance of the Atma? Ignorance of the Atma has no beginning. But the good news is that ignorance of the Atma can come to an end. Ignorance of the Atma has no beginning. What is the proof? The present shloka which we read. Anadya vidyo. And also many shlokas in the Bhagavatam which has the term Anadi Avidya. Anadi Avidya. So it has no beginning. It has no beginning means it has no cause also. This is something difficult to conceive. How can something be without a cause? But that's why Acharya said it is something inconceivable. Because if it has a cause, that means we fell from the spiritual world, then Krishna's statement in the Gita will become false. And many statements of the Shastra will become false. Yad gatvana nivartanti tadama paramam mama. The nature of the spiritual world is that one never falls in the spiritual world. That statement will become false. Vedanta Sutra concludes with Anavriti Shabdat, Anavriti Shabdat. Once a person gets liberated, one never falls. So the statement will become false. So therefore, that the avidya, the simple literal meaning of the word anadi avidya, avidya has no beginning, but it can come to an end. If it has no end also, then there is no purpose of we studying the Shastra. If the avidya is not going to come to an end, then there is no meaning in performing the practicing the path of bhakti or reading the Shastra or hearing Bhagavatam. So avidya has no beginning, but the good news is there are two good news. Avidya can come to an end. And when the avidya comes to an end, there is no end to that liberated life. One will never again fall down. When does avidya come to an end? When a person meets a devotee of Krishna. So that avidya comes to an end. And then when he starts the practice of bhakti, when he reaches the stage of prema, when he becomes completely purified, and there is no more falling down. That's the second good news. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Prabhu, in chat, devotees are thanking you for the wonderful class. And one question is in the chat, Prabhu. It's from Deepika Keni Mataji. Should we understand that in order to show urgency to go back to Godhead, so Srila Prabhupada said, when one falls down from spiritual world? That's explained, I think.
Mataji made a comment, I think. It's a comment.
No, so what I wanted to say is that is it like, Prabhupada wants to say that, oh, I'm saying this, that one falls from spiritual sky is only because I want you all to go back immediately, like to show the urgency, like how yourself mentioned about cause and effect. So one of the case why he just mentioned it just to show the urgency, like
that can also be one of the reasons. That's also one of the reasons. Another reason is that there can be multiple. That's also one of the reasons to create an urgency in the people. Another this one is that because it's difficult for people to conceive about the beginningless ignorance because we are so used to cause and effect. Therefore, Acharyas gave a cause which actually does not exist. It is like somebody may say, oh, why the Acharyas cheated? We spoke something different from the Shastra. But the great souls cheat for a great cause. Even when the great souls cheat something, it is for the great cause of giving Krishna Bhakti to people. So Prabhupada, even if we say that Prabhupada cheated, it is an ornament of Srila Prabhupada. Because by that he told them, focus on your Krishna Bhakti. Focus on devotional service. We misuse the free will, now we engage in devotional service and go back to Krishna. He is waiting for you. So in that way, Prabhupada spoke like. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhuji, Radha Jyoti Mataji is asking whether can we get any PPT or any notes for class.
Mataji, also Janava Mataji's hand.
Janava Mataji is having a question. I will take that.
Yes. Janava Devi Mataji also raising her hand. Mataji,
Okay.
please go ahead.
I can speak now, Mataji?
Yes.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Oh, thank you, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, it's my greatest fortune to be in association with you today. Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada, and all glories to assembled devotees. Prabhu, thank you so much for such a knowledgeable class. Sometimes I feel like I'm drowning of the knowledge of the greatness of Harikatha. Um, a couple of things, Prabhu. Could you expound a little bit more about the Avatar Maitreya in regarding to what you said that anyone who eats fish pretty much eats all the meat of all animals? Because in the Western world, the people that are transitioning from being a meat eater, they always say, and I've experienced this myself as well, oh, I just eat fish, as if like it's kind of like an explanation that, oh, I don't eat the heavy meat and stuff. I'm I only eat fish. And then today I was very much taken aback that it's almost like it's so much more such a heavy thing to be eating fish. Could you, that's my one of my question. Could you explain a little bit more why that is? It because Lord Krishna appeared as a fish?
Uh, yeah, well, it may appear little for Manusmriti. I just quoted the exact statement of the Manusmriti. But of course, when we deal with the people, we have to somehow encourage the people to start taking some Krishna Prasadam. Even those who are supposed coming, even some people who are just getting introduced to Krishna consciousness or anybody, they may be having certain, say, meat eating habits or other habits. All we can just encourage that at least begin to offer something every day, some fruit every day, take some prasadam every day. That's how we can encourage. We do not focus on like if you're eating fish, that means it's the lowest thing. That may not be, we may not speak that to the common people. That may be a little hurting for them.
Okay.
But many things in the general world, people from the birth they are following certain culture, certain habits. It is like people are living in a blind island. Suppose somebody is born in an island, born blind. His father and mother are blind. His relatives are blind, and everyone in the island is blind. So everyone in the island is blind, and somebody one fine day, somebody comes from out of the island, from outside the island, and comes and starts speaking about the beauty of the nature. So initially, those people will think that this person is very strange. He's speaking about the beauty of the mountains and rivers. So similarly, oftentimes people are born in a blind island, or they are growing up in a blind island. That means they are not knowing certain proper principles of lifestyle. So some of these concepts may appear very strange, actually. So even we have to present, we may present in a logical, scientific way without hurting the person, maybe in a scientific way. We try to more encourage about or speak about the positive aspects of Krishna's personality, Krishna consciousness. And then in that way, that's what I can think.
Yes, Prabhu. And then, Prabhu, if I may, just second clarification, maybe this is a very ignorant question of mine. When there is the creation and then obviously after the life of Brahma, right? Is there there is a loss of knowledge from the previous yuga, right? That's why the Saptarishis are there as well to preserve the knowledge. Is it always in relation to ignorance? Is that also because when you were saying something about I'm thinking in my mind that it's a part of it that ignorance has no beginning. It's there. Is it also because of the fact that there's like clearly some of the knowledge from the previous yuga were lost, especially in the Kali Yuga? right? Some of the knowledge that we know of back in the days and how they lived and how the architecture, how they could just easily build things are lost now in the previous yuga. So is it follow the cycle that constantly there's a loss of knowledge going into the yuga, right, Prabhu? Could you explain that, please?
Yeah, as the ages progress, the memory gets lost. People forget the previous knowledge. But here specifically, when I talk about the ignorance, here I'm talking about the ignorance of our constitutional position.
Mm.
I'm talking about that Atma Jnana. We are a part and parcel of Krishna, or a position was to serve. Talking about the ignorance of the Atma Jnana, the self-knowledge.
Mm.
And apart from other aspects of say, different aspect of the way culture or architecture or different technology or different that anyway gets lost as in due course of time as time progresses. But specifically speaking about the ignorance of our spiritual knowledge, our constitutional position, that ignorance is there since beginningless time. There is no beginning for that ignorance. And that is something difficult to conceive. But that is the Shastra. We have to take the word as it is.
Okay, I think I just accept it. There is a beginning.
Shraddhadi Shastrartha Vishwasa. Faith means have faith in the words of the Shastra as it is. And the Shastra simply says that Anadya Vidya. We read Bhagavad Gita introduction. Bhagavad Gita introduction, Baldev Vidyabhusan introduction. Prabhupada is mentioning in the English translation, but it's not very explicitly clear. But if you read Baldev Vidyabhusan introduction, he says that Bhagavad Gita speaks about five topics. Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, Karma. And then he says out of these 5 topics, 4 things are eternal. Jivatma, Ishvara, Prakriti and Kala. These are eternal. That means they have no beginning and they have no end also. But the karma, which is also same as ignorance, he says that karma has no beginning, but it can come to an end. Ignorance has no beginning, but it can come to an end. So he mentioned that. So the other 4 things are eternal. That means they have no beginning and no end. But avidya has no beginning, but it can come to an end. So this is the Shastra says that. And the Pramana is the same. In the Bhagavad Gita itself, the shloka is the 13.21. Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidyanadi Ubau Api. Vikaramsya Gunam Chaiva Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan. Prakriti and Purusha both are there since Anadi Kala, beginningless time. And their union with each other, the living entity being connected with the Prakriti, this is also since beginningless time. That is the Shastra says.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. I'm eternally grateful. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
We'll end here.
Hare Krishna, dear devotee.
Sundarangi Mataji, there is a question by Radha Jyoti Mataji. A wonderful question. When we'll be assured Krishna accepted us completely and there is no question of fall down? Wonderful question if you want to take up.
When we will be assured Krishna
Can I read the question for you, Prabhu?
Yeah, we do in the sadhana bhakti stage, we do go through ups and downs. Anishtita bhajana kriya, we go through ups and downs. But the fact is that when a person has taken us bhakti, even if a person has fallen down from bhakti, the bhakti will pull him back. Bhakti will pull him back, and he will, gradually, in due course of time, he will rise up and he will never fall down. Yeah, when we talk about more technically, when we talk about anartha nivritti, the complete purification of the anarthas happen at the stage of prema. And from before the stage of prema, There are some, even the stage of bhava, some anarthas may be there, but the stage of prema, complete purification happens, and then there is no question of fall down. Yeah, before that stage, there are some anarthas. Because of that, sometimes the person may commit mistakes, one may slip. But still, because he has come into the path of bhakti, the bhakti will only take him forward only. But we should, of course, we should put endeavor. We should not take the mercy of the Bhakti Devi for granted and become complacent. But the point is that Shastra says that Kaunteya Pratijanihi Name Bhakta Pranashati, my devotee never perishes. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, dear
So,
devotees. If no one has any questions, then we can end the call here. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such an enlightening class. And thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such nice explanations, Prabhuji. We are very grateful to you, and we will look forward for your association again in the future. Dear devotees, let's pay our obeisances to Prabhuji and all the devotees in the call.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
नमो नमः।
नमो नमः।
अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय।
जय
जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय।
जय
राधिका वल्लभ दास प्रभु जी की जय।
जय।
निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि
हरे
हरि
हरे
बोल।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।